Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be sharing with you some other costs you need to consider when buying a property here in the UK. In one of my previous videos, I share with you ways you can buy property here in the UK as a migrant. So if you care to know more about some of the hidden costs that you need to factor in when planning to buy in your first property or second property here in the UK, you need to stick with me to the end of this video so we can dive right into it and for you to be informed. Hi guys, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, in this channel, I share latest updates on UK immigration updates and changes to some of the UK immigration policies. If this content looks exciting to you and you gain value for this video, you can hit the subscribe button to join the amazing evergreen family. And for my returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to watch my video. I do appreciate you guys. So guys, let's get straight into today's video. As a migrant living here in the UK, one way you can secure the future for your children and yourself is to buy a property here in the UK. Buying a property here in the UK is an investment that do not add additional cost burden to your living expense here in the UK. Believe it or not, as long as you live in the UK, you must either rent an apartment or be living in your own apartment. The cost of getting a mortgage here in the UK is one of the cheapest and seamless ways you can think of. Getting a mortgage here in the UK is like paying your rent. Depends on where you live in the UK. The amount you use in servicing your mortgage is almost the same amount you use in paying your rent every month. So, why will you spend your time living here in the UK servicing someone else's mortgage instead of you putting that rental value you are paying into servicing someone else's mortgage? Why don't you put that same value into servicing your own mortgage towards owning a property in the future? In this video, we'll be talking about some of the charges that you need to plan towards when making arrangements towards buying a property here in the UK. When buying a property here in the UK, it is important to also factor in the cost of hiring a solicitor. Your solicitor will be the one that will represent you in all the transactional dealing in course of buying that property. They'll be the one to do the search reports, to check the inventory checklist the sales agent or the sales solicitor is sending across to be sure that the property do not have any encumbrances that might affect you once the property sales has gone through. They also will check whatever deposits you are putting forward to buy that property, right? To be sure that the source of that deposit is from a genuine source, right? All payments regarding that property will pass through your own solicitor, or will in turn remit to the sales agent solicitor for onward settlement. So the cost of hiring a solicitor in the value chain of purchasing a property here in the UK cannot be overemphasized, right? So you need to factor in the cost of hiring a solicitor when planning to buy your property here in the UK. Also, you need to factor in the cost of hiring a mortgage advisor, right? Some persons do this without hiring a mortgage advisor if they have knowledge of the property they want to buy and how the property market works, or depending on who is selling the property. If you are buying from a relative, a friend, or somebody that is close to you, this can be done within the two party, right? So some persons can do this without a solicitor. But as a migrant who have limited knowledge in how buying and selling of property works here in the UK, you need the service of a mortgage advisor who will advise you on some of the key factors you need to look out for when buying a property, right? Sometimes the solicitor can even go the extra mile to advise you on the type of insurance and what to look out for before you come into conclusion in buying that property. also your mortgage advisor will be the one to help you push forward to look for the best lender out there in the market that is willing to consider your unique circumstance on the purchase of that property. So mortgage advisor is another key factor you need to factor into the process of buying your property. The cost of hiring a mortgage advisor is another cost you need to also factor in when planning to buy your property here in the UK. Finally, if you're planning to buy a property here in the UK, you need to also set out an amount you use to get a surveyor that will come and assess the property you are to buy. The service of a surveyor cannot be overemphasized when buying a property, most especially old property that were built for like 30, 60, 70 years ago. It's important to also get a surveyor who will come and assess the property to unravel any potential defects that the property may suffer, either now or in the future. In buying a property, we have 3 levels of survey: first level survey, second level survey, and third level survey. It's advisable that when buying a property, you do minimum second level survey, which is also known as home buyer survey, to unravel potential defect the property is suffering or may suffer in the future. This will enable you negotiate further in the event that the survey come up with any potential defects, right, on the property. You can use that as a tool to bargain the price, because you need to factor in the cost of fixing the defect that will unravel by the surveyor. So getting a surveyor in the chain of buying a property here in the UK is something that is very important, so that you will not run into trouble. Because once you conclude the process of buying a property and the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, it will be difficult for you to go back and say, oh, the property I bought from you has this and that were not identified before the process was completed, right? Because we have what we call completion stage, we have what we call exchange, right? So all of these terms is something I will discuss in my next video. So if you're planning to buy a property in the UK, you need to follow all of these steps so you don't run into trouble, right? So for those planning to buy property here in the UK, you need to factor in these 3 areas when planning towards buying a property: the cost of hiring a solicitor, the cost of getting a mortgage advisor, and the cost of hiring a surveyor who will help you, who will do a survey on the property to unravel any potential defects of the property. In my next video, I'll also share with you the type of property you look out for when you are planning to buy a house here in the UK. There are some property that are called standard property, non-standard property. You need to look out for those type of property, right? There's a certain type of property here in the UK that is very, very difficult to sell. If you make mistake in buying such a property and for one reason or the other you want to sell, it will take you very long time to get a buyer, and the amount they will all be coming up with is something that you will not want to sell. So many persons have locked themselves into such a property and they are unable to sell it. Most of the property, they are also in the market, but you will never see buyer that will come for it. The amount they are putting forth is something that is cheaper. Most people who bought those property as at then are people who do not have good knowledge of the type of property they are buying. All they need is, I want to buy a property, and most probably the price they put in that property is a little bit cheaper than other property within that area. They rush into it and buy it. After buying it, they discover it's not a standard property and they want to put it up for market. The amount there is in buying it, they cannot get that amount at the time they want to sell it. So most of them are stopped. If you are a migrant in the UK and you are planning to buy a property and you don't know how to go about it, you can send me a message and we'll take it up from there. I can refer you to a good mortgage advisor that can get you the best lender with the best rate in the market and will make the mortgage process seamless for you. So if you have any issues or you have any comments, leave it in the comment box and we'll take it up from there. See you in my next video.